All right, all right, all right. Welcome, guys, to another live podcast. This is Tuesday's podcast. So first I want to apologize if you hear some background noise. Every time I try to do something live, my lawn care people decide to show up and ruin the moment for me. However, we're going to keep this ball rolling. So let me see if I can share the link real quick. Thank you guys for coming on board. I thank you so much. And I really love Tuesday's podcast. I think it's really cool to do this with you guys. So this will be up on my YouTube channel as well later. If you don't happen to catch this live, I appreciate your support. And this will be an interesting one to talk about. You know, talking about, I have certain conversations. This is how a lot of this is just freestyle, man. It's like, meaning, you know, I don't feel comfortable scripting things because I don't feel it's original. And I'm not knocking people who script their reviews. Some things you have to have. Now I do have like a chart that I follow when I'm doing reviews of devices and, you know, things like that. However, things like this should just be fun. They should just be kickback. Also with live streams, they should be kickback, you know, and just, you know, talk as a conversation. You know, I guess that's why I launched smartphoneconversations.com. Be sure to hit smartphoneconversations.com and you can catch up with all the latest news that I try to produce every week. But today's topic is smartphone review units. Is that a good idea or is that a bad idea? What do you guys think? Now, my take on it, I speak to several people throughout the week when I have time to talk about smartphones, which is probably all the time. And the conversation has come up multiple times about review units. Very few YouTubers will tell you that they actually have a review unit. And some YouTubers get so many review units, we almost automatically assume that they're getting a review unit. Sometimes it could be with their own money. I've done that before and, you know, apologized to certain people, thought it was a review unit. Turns out they bought it with their own money. But I guess the real question is, even though this is titled Smartphone Review Units, good idea or bad idea, but the real question is, you know, does it sway? Does review units or do review units sway reviewers? Does it, you know, because some reviewers will get review units, and I'll talk about myself also. I'm not left out of the pot because I get review units, even though a lot of you guys probably don't know it. But I try to disclose that if it's an actual review unit, I'll disclose that in the video. So with that being said, are review units actually a bad idea or a good idea? Do you think that reviewers who get the items for free have a different outlook or a different way of thinking when it's something that they have to, opposed to something they have to pay for? So now we've had these conversations multiple times offline, and I say we, you all know who you are if you're a part of that group of people who have those conversations. You know, talking about, I've even posted on, I've posted on Twitter. For those that don't follow me on social media yet, it's Mr. J.O. Williams for everything. Like, seriously, any type of social media that I've actually signed up for, if you search for Mr. J.O. Williams, it's probably going to be me. And I try to keep the photos of myself the same on each social media site. If you don't notice, I update them, keep them the same. Nonetheless, do review units actually make people think a different way opposed to them buying it? I say yes. And I'm a person who gets review units. Believe it or not, Jay gets my review units come in the form of, here's a gift, you know, like I got to use LG as the best. And I'll talk about myself first because I'm not going to make a podcast and trash other people for getting review units and I'm not getting them. That's not what it's about. LG is one of the top OEMs that have sent me, and I call them review units, but really it's just a part of them. They have like these different programs, and I'm just going to keep it real. I've technically never gotten a review unit from LG. They send me retail units. Like a review unit, if you've ever gotten a review unit, which I have, it's just probably wrapped in bubble wrap, no charger, or sometimes it won't be a charging brick, and it'll just be a cable, and sometimes no cable. So those are sometimes those are review units, and some review units do come in a full box. But there's all these stickers all over, pre-production, not for sale, do not say this is the final software, that type of deal. So technically, I've never really gotten a review unit from LG because LG has sent me every new device in the retail form. Even with the G6, it was a retail unit. It was the official unlocked retail. Well, it's actually the US 997 model, which is the Sprint / Verizon / US Cellular, just any of the CDMAs. Those are unlocked. The US Cellular version is unlocked, officially unlocked, which still could be used on Sprint and Verizon. But I guess I've never technically gotten that many review units because I do a lot of beta testing. There's a company that I used to do review units for because I used to actually have to send those back. It was a real low quality phone. I forgot the name of the company. It was that company that got mad at me because I said their products weren't good enough to compete with some of the current market and they wanted me to take the review down. I forgot the name of the company. However, I guess I really haven't gotten any review units because all of the phones that I get from LG and other companies that I've gotten from, they've actually been retail units. And so do I qualify to, in the videos though, I still say thanks to so-and-so for sending this out for review. Because what they'll do is they'll say, LG basically told me, hey, you have to disclose that we sent you this phone. And so I did that, in all the videos. And anytime someone sends me a phone, or if they send those labels with it and say, hey, you need to tell them, most review units, you should disclose as a reviewer that it's an actual review unit, which means you didn't pay for it. But with LG, and now that I'm thinking about it, those aren't really review units that they're sending me. They're actually retail units because it's the full suite, as you can see when I unbox them. But I still disclose that it's a review unit. So done and done. Now, for me, it doesn't sway me when I use a phone that I didn't pay for. Here's why. I've never been a part of a network. 90% of the phones and devices on my channel I purchase with my own money. And money that I get from YouTube. I'll be honest, I make enough money on YouTube to where I can buy a phone every month and still keep up with the current trend of doing a video every month and covering each device. I might be a little slower at it sometimes. Sometimes I'll go to T-Mobile and do it and buy a phone. I'm going to officially try to stop doing that. Closing out 2017, I'm going to officially try to stop buying from carriers. Because I like devices that are unlocked, or I like devices that I don't want to deal with the store reps, basically. But review units for me, I purchase them with my own, they don't sway me. I feel like you be the judge of me, because I'm a fan of put the video out there and let the people decide whether they want to watch you or not. You're not going to get a bunch of positive feedback. I get slammed every day. I don't take it personal anymore. I used to get upset, but I thought, you know what, these people aren't mad at me. So when I speak of myself, review units don't sway me. And, because I started by myself, I've never been affiliated with a website. And again, what I'm getting ready to say is no direct target to anyone. But I'm just saying, some people are big because of the company or that they used to represent. Or some people are well known. Now, I'm not saying they don't do great work. There's plenty of people on YouTube who do fantastic work. But think about if they would have had to start, or if they would have started and stayed on the track of being solo with no sponsorship for like the first 5-10 years of their career, would they be as famous? Would they have access? Or would they have to work hard like most of us? And there's kind of like this, if you don't know, I don't say it very often, but there's this thing brewing, and some of us are just kind of getting grouped as quote unquote underground YouTubers. Now, I didn't create that terminology. Someone referenced me that way at one point, and I just say, you know what, I'm not offended by it. If that's what you think of me, maybe it's a compliment. I appreciate the love. As long as you say hi to me, and acknowledge me as a YouTuber, I'm perfectly fine with that. But for me, I think the best example is a phone like the HTC U Ultra and the G6. More so the U Ultra, because YouTubers slammed that phone, and a lot of us felt like. Now, I reached out to the HTC PR team, and they basically told me not everyone got a review unit. A lot of people had to buy those phones, and I personally believe that is why the U Ultra got slammed. For the people that keep saying, Jay, why you keep defending the HTC? I'm not defending the Ultra. I'm just saying you got to look at the way these people are reviewing the phones. Be realistic. Look at the reviews of all these other phones they got, and they gave them a perfect 10. Like the G6 was being touted as the top phone of 2017 because we all know LG sent out units to everyone. I mean everyone. And so everybody said that phone was great. They were doing pre-production units for reviews. And the same thing is happening with Samsung S8 right now. I tweeted about this, and I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to close this out. I tweeted about this on Twitter. I emailed Samsung's PR team. I said, can I get a review unit for review? Because I'm spending like $9,000 a year on Samsung products, $2,000 or $2,000 tops maybe on Samsung products, and it's coming out of my own pocket. And I'm not getting any money from Samsung, and I'm basically helping them sell their products. So I reached out to them this year. This is the first year that I officially emailed them and said, hey, can I have a review unit? They came back with, there's no review units at the moment. We'll get with you if we can. Meanwhile, on YouTube, for the last 3 weeks or a month, people are destroying, cutting them in half. Let me see what's inside of here. Drop tests, all this other nonsense, wasting good phones that could be reviewed by real people. And when I say real people, I'm definitely a fan of the YouTubers who are not a part of a network. And if you don't know what a network is, basically you work for Pocket Now, or you work for Android Authority, or you work for one of these companies. You may have your own channel, but you're well known because of them, and that's not a stab at anybody who works for those websites. But I've just got to keep it real and say the names of some of these websites, because I don't believe that some of these people would be as famous on YouTube, or people wouldn't believe or take their word over other YouTubers who started from the ground up, like some of us, who are still working hard. I've been on YouTube for over 10 years, but I've only been serious about 7 or going on 8. But, from where I'm at on YouTube right now, I'm perfectly fine with that, because I know I turned down some websites. I don't need to say now I won't say the name. I've turned down 2 websites, big websites, wanted me to write for them and do work for them, and I was like, no, I'm not going to basically give up all the revenue that I'm pulling in and give it to you just so I can get a good name. I'm not with that. You can have the fame all you want to. My hard work is going to stay with Jay Will, and that's just how it's going to be. I still turn down networks. Networks you're famous because, I'm not saying you're famous because of the website itself, but those websites and blogs are very popular. So if you start to see your face on there a lot, and you get better and better, we all get better with practice. We get better with practice. That's just how it goes, whether you're affiliated with a network or not. I used to do horrible work on YouTube. My videos are still up, and I won't take them down from when I first started. Go back and look for yourself. I think those videos were crap. But over a 10-year span, obviously I've grown a lot. I've learned from just trial and error. And I'm not afraid to take risks. But I think review units go to the same people, and I'm not complaining. Somebody on Twitter and YouTube always say, oh, you're a hater. You're just mad because you're not big enough. You're just mad. Those are the people that are lost, like little sheeps. Just following along with everything everybody else says and never experiencing for themselves. I don't care if I had to wait 2 months to get the next XY phone and the other reviewer got it before me because they got it for free as a review unit because they're quote unquote well known. I'm still going to put out the same quality type of review that I do on every single phone I review. I personally feel like that people who always get free phones for review and they get the latest phones right away, somehow those people get comfortable because they don't have to pay for anything. And again, this isn't a stab at just any one person. There are a lot of YouTubers out there that don't get review units, but they have 5 million subscribers, so they're making $20,000, $30,000 a month before taxes, you see? So, but free review units, I think these OEMs should mix it up, send it to regular consumers, just like LG does. It took them like a month or month and a half to send me, but they sent me a retail unit. But still, that is who should be the judge of whether a phone is good or not, or is worthy. I mean, you tell me, when you're watching a review of something from the same people over and over again, and again, I'm not taking shots at any of the websites. I just feel like those people, they work for someone, and I'm my own boss. It may seem like I'm on YouTube a lot, but I might spend maybe 6 hours a week on YouTube, probably. So I started from the bottom, and I don't even care if I get to the quote unquote top. I'm just having fun along the way, because as soon as you get to the top, the only way that you can go next is down. So review units, yay or nay. I want to hear what you guys think. It's your man Jay Will. I'm going to close this out. I know a lot of people that get review units, and some of them are very new. Demir is one of the people that gets review units that I know off the top of my head. So shout out to Demir. But it's your man Jay Will. I'm out, guys. I'll see you in the next podcast.